news is filled with reports about violence, murder, sex, and drugs, but there are other stories left untold. They are about men and women who give their time, energy, dreams, and even their lives to make San Francisco a better place. They are Everybody's Angels.
Hello, I'm Pari Livermore. Welcome to Everybody's Angels. Our show is about ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things to help other people. Today we'll be talking about extraordinary people and extraordinary animals. You'll meet Coco, the most famous gorilla since King Kong. We're going to give you a recipe for fish milkshakes from the Ream Mammal Center. And you'll meet our special guests, a pair of twin lion cubs from the San Francisco Zoo. Our first guest is Rachel Chester. Although Rachel is only in high school, she's one of the top volunteers for the Animal Care and Control, an organization that provides food and medical care to abandoned and stray animals. We'd like to welcome Rachel today, and one of the dogs she helps to care for, a German Shepherd mix named Caddy. Welcome to the show, Rachel. And
thank you.
Welcome to you, Caddy. Caddy is a dog that's up for adoption, is that right?
Yeah, she is. A person can come to the shelter and adopt a dog of their choice if the shelter agrees.
And Caddy is one of your favorites.
Yes, she is. She's got a very independent personality.
Well, if someone were going to adopt Caddy, what would you tell them about her?
Well, I'd say she's a real sweetheart. She loves attention, and she's also very much her own dog, her own character. She's got her own opinions about things, which is a very obvious trait. And she loves attention.
So she's a very loving dog. Would she be good with families with children?
Yeah, she just loves people in general, all people. We do give them a bit of obedience training to prepare them for when they are adopted. Just, sit, down, off, stay, general stuff like that.
Well, now what else do you do in your job for the Animal Care and Control?
Well, since it's really important that the dogs do get exercise, my primary position is actually walking the dogs outside the center. And we also do a bit of adoption work, just some. Okay.
Now, there's a special room, the Get-Acquainted Room, that you work in sometimes, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
The Get-Acquainted Room is a room where prospective adopters can meet the dog of their choice. The dog is off their leash and they get to run around and just associate with the prospective adopters.
And what are some of the other things that the Animal Care and Control does for these dogs? Or do you only deal with dogs?
I only deal with dogs, but there are other positions. Animals, you can deal with the small animals, the cats, and you can do adoption counseling.
I see.
Cut it down.
And what's adoption counseling?
Adoption counseling is informing people what choices they're making when they are making the adoption itself.
Now, would that be how much the animal is going to cost per month to keep the dog, or is that more in choosing a particular dog or a particular cat that you might like?
Both, I think.
Both,
yeah.
I see. Because there are responsibilities that come with the dog, is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
And do you ever get involved in spaying or neutering any of these animals?
No, I don't have any involvement.
No, I know you would, but I mean, does the Animal Care and Control?
They spay or neuter any animal that comes through their hands because, you don't want any more animals that are going to be homeless. So all animals are spayed or neutered before they go home with an adopter.
Well, I noticed that you get along so well, but do you have any wonderful stories about perhaps any other dogs that you've worked with?
Well, there was one dog who, his name was Buddy, and he must have been mistreated when he was owned. And, well, he was very shy, but I was able to help him get out, and so he wasn't so afraid of everything outside. He was afraid of cars and all sorts of that kind of stuff, and we started to help him get over that.
Oh, and so then he was able to be adopted?
Yes, he was.
Oh, that's great. Are there any sad stories?
Well, there was a dog named Rhett, like Rhett Butler, and he was put to sleep because, as I understand, he did bite someone, and that's very sad, and I did like Rhett.
Oh, come on, Ken. Well, one of the things that I think is interesting is a lot of people like puppies, but you seem to like the older dogs, Rachel.
The older dogs, it's just like people. They are more mature in general, and also older dogs don't get quite as much attention as the younger because people just think, oh, puppies are so cute, and the older dogs are just a little bit more ignored.
Well, you certainly are very mature. Speaking of maturity, you're very mature yourself.
Thank you.
I think it's wonderful that you give up you work sometimes on Sunday and sometimes on Monday, is that right? To give up that time, a young girl such as yourself, do you ever say to yourself, gee, I wish I could, instead of going in today, I could be at the mall or go to the movies or just kind of hang out with my friends. Do you ever say that to yourself?
Well, not so much that, more like, oh, I'm so tired today. But when I do go in, it's a very rewarding experience anyway, dealing with the dogs. And
so other young people that might want to volunteer, what are some of the things that you could tell them about volunteering for animal care and control?
Well, it's a very rewarding experience. It helps you in understanding all sorts of animals. I know my behavior, my dealing with animals has improved greatly since I started. And you have to love animals, but it's a great way to spend time with them and just associate with them in all ways, even if you can't have one of your own.
Now, do you have a dog at home?
No, I do not. I have pet rabbits.
You have pet rabbits. But did you have allergies in your family?
My mother has allergies, which we can't have a dog because of that.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, now, did you ever try to talk to some of your friends and get them to perhaps be volunteers as well?
Actually, about a month after I started, I talked my best friend into joining, and she actually works with the cats. And the third of us is actually planning on joining to work with, she's not sure which, but definitely one, either the dogs or the cats in the near future.
And you're a student, is that right?
Yes.
And where are you a student?
School of the Arts High School. It's an alternative public high school that specializes in the arts.
And what do you want to do when you get a little older?
Well, I'm interested in doing special effects for movies, such as work for Industrial Light and Magic. I'd like to get a double major as a mechanical and electrical engineer.
Oh, well, good for you. Well, I wish you a lot of success. You're a young woman that gives a lot to others, both animal and human, and you seem to get along very well with everyone. So I'm sure you'll do, and you have the dedication, so I'm sure you'll get what you want. In fact, because you've been such a wonderful volunteer, we'd like to give you one of our gold angel pins for being on our show today.
Thank you very much.
And we want to thank you for the work you're doing. And also, we have something for you, Caddy. And I know that someone's going to want to adopt you. Yes, because you're so cute.
Yes.
But thank you so very much
You're
for
welcome.
joining us today.